Evening and welcome to the News Hour. I'm Madhavdas GK. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a mega Times Now impact. The campaign for justice for our wrestlers has finally yielded results. Wrestling Federation Chief and BJP MP Brij Bhushan Singh is set to resign on the 22nd of January. National heroes who had hit the streets yesterday in protest against the federation that governs wrestling in the country continued with their stir in the national capital. The protesting champs have alleged that they didn't get a satisfactory response from the government, and if needed, they would approach the police and file a formal complaint as well. They have demanded that the WFI be disbanded. Listen in.
अभी मीटिंग में सिर्फ आश्वासन ही दिया गया है, ऐसा कोई ठोस हमें नहीं बताया गया कि हाँ हम कोई ठोस कदम लेंगे या कोई एक्शन लेंगे, बस आश्वासन दिया गया है। लेकिन उस आश्वासन से हम खुश नहीं हैं। हम जैसा कि बजरंग ने बताया, हम पूरी रेसलिंग फेडरेशन को भंग करवाना चाहते हैं और जितनी भी स्टेट्स हैं वहां भी सबकी फेडरेशन मतलब रेसलिंग फेडरेशन जो है वो भंग होनी चाहिए। एक नई शुरुआत होनी चाहिए, एक फ्रेश स्टार्ट होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि हर जगह उनके इंसान फैले हुए हैं। जैसा कि विनेश ने बताया, हर स्टेट में फैले हुए हैं। केरला से लड़कियों के फोन आ रहे हैं, महाराष्ट्र से लड़कियों के फोन आ रहे हैं। वो खुद पीड़िता रही हैं, उनके साथ वो खुद शोषण का शिकार रही हैं। तो आप समझ सकते हो कि हर स्टेट में फैले हुए हैं। तो हम चाहते हैं कि पूरी रेसलिंग फेडरेशन भंग हो।
इस्तीफा लेके तो वो अपने लोगों को ही बिठाएंगे। हम इस्तीफा ना चाहते हुए फेडरेशन को भंग करना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि जो स्टेट की जो संघ है, कुश्ती संघ जो स्टेटों के हैं, उनमें भी सभी उन्हीं के लोग बैठे हैं जो उन्हीं के इशारे पे काम करते हैं। तो हम इस्तीफा नहीं चाहते, हम फेडरेशन को भंग करना चाहते हैं। हमारी यही मांग है गवर्नमेंट से।
However, some jumped in to hijack the protest, or at least attempt to do so for political mileage. But the athletes showed them the mirror. CPM leader Brinda Karat, who arrived at the wrestlers' protest site at Jantar Mantar, was asked to step down from the stage by the grapplers, saying that they do not want anyone to give the stir a political color. Take a look at the sequence.
मैडम प्लीज इसको राजनीति मुद्दा ना बनाइए, प्लीज आप नीचे चले जाइए, प्लीज प्लीज मैडम नीचे चले जाइए, प्लीज आपसे हाथ जोड़ के रिक्वेस्ट है। मैडम प्लीज इसको राजनीति मुद्दा ना बनाइए, प्लीज आप नीचे चले जाइए, प्लीज प्लीज मैडम नीचे चले जाइए, प्लीज आपसे हाथ जोड़ के रिक्वेस्ट है। मैडम प्लीज इसको राजनीति मुद्दा ना बनाइए, प्लीज आप नीचे चले जाइए, प्लीज प्लीज मैडम नीचे चले जाइए, प्लीज आपसे हाथ जोड़ के रिक्वेस्ट है। मैडम प्लीज इसको राजनीति मुद्दा ना बनाइए, प्लीज आप नीचे चले जाइए, प्लीज प्लीज मैडम नीचे चले जाइए, प्लीज आपसे हाथ जोड़ के रिक्वेस्ट है।
Now, the allegations that have been leveled by the wrestlers have been rubbish for Brij Bhushan, who happens to be an incumbent MP from the BJP and a 5-time elected member of parliament. Brij Bhushan Singh has also been the president of the federation for nearly a decade and was elected unopposed for the third time in 2019. The wrestlers have demanded that there should be new coaches appointed for training and the Centre for Training for Wrestlers should be shifted to Delhi. Now, this brings me to the legitimate question that we're asking this evening. Don't our champs deserve better than this?
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
We're going to take this across to our guest. Joining us for more are Vaibhav Agarwal, member of the BJP as well as president of the Yuva India Foundation. We have with us Rakesh Singh, who's a coach and general secretary of the Haryana Wrestling Association. Advocate Prakeet Som is with us. He's a national spokesperson of the JJP. Tehseen Poonawala is a political analyst joining us. And we will also be joined by Hardeep Singh, who's a former Olympic wrestler, and Vikram Yadav, a wrestler as well. But before I go across to all of you panelists, let me quickly bring in some breaking news coming in. Shortly, Sports Minister Anurag Thakur will meet all the wrestlers at his official residence in Delhi and listen to their grievances at 10 p.m. So the Sports Minister, who is outside of Delhi, is rushing back to the national capital. He's going to be meeting with these wrestlers. Is a breakthrough a possibility? And will the government agree to the demand of the wrestlers that the Wrestling Federation be completely disbanded? Is that a suggestion? And is the government willing to walk the talk as far as that suggestion is concerned? Those are going to be some of the questions that we'll know an answer of only once this meeting is concluded. For more on this, let's quickly go across to Karishma as well. In fact, Karishma is just going to be joining us, but a big development indeed. Now the Sports Minister rushing back to the national capital to meet with the wrestlers. Remember, the wrestlers have been on the streets for the past 48 hours. A second day of protest that has been ended today, and now they are threatening that there would be a third day of protest tomorrow morning. They would even file a police complaint, they are told. They are saying if their grievances are not fulfilled. Let's quickly go across to Karishma for more on this. Karishma, what's on the table? What's on the cards here? What are we likely to see happening at 10 o'clock today? Karishma, can you hear me?
अरे आवाज आ रही.
All right, we'll try and reconnect with Karishma, but very, very important meeting that is to take place in less than an hour from now. In fact, the sports minister, in fact, exactly an hour from now, perhaps the sports minister will be meeting with these wrestlers. Let's quickly take this across to our panelists joining us. Let me first and foremost take this across to Tehseen Poonawala. Tehseen, you know, I want to bring to you the unfortunate spectacle of, and certainly, of course, I'm going to ask the government also, the representatives of those who at least support the BJP, as to what the government has done. But first and foremost, isn't it such an unfortunate spectacle? Brinda Karat arriving there at Jantar Mantar, and she shooed off stage. The only thing worse than the sight of wrestlers, Olympians, Olympic medal winners having to sit on the streets to demand justice is the sight of politicians trying to claim credit by jumping on that same dais on which they are.
Good evening, Madhav. Thank you for having me on the show, and good evening to all my fellow panelists and to all your viewers. And I often say this, Madhav, that the rowdy right and the loony left are like the horseshoe theory, and ultimately they're much closer than far away as you ever think. Here is our wrestlers, our Olympic medals, in this cold, sitting on the streets, fighting for their right, their justice in a federation which has a BJP MP from the right. And then you have these loony left MP, ex-MP, with a mass base of one person coming there to get herself clicked and to get publicity. Can you believe this? I mean, first, this BJP MP is not being kicked out. He should have been kicked out so there can be a probe. You have Olympic medals saying that, look, we have charges of sexual allegations against a sitting MP who continues to be in power of authority. And then you have a left ex-MP out there for publicity. If you really wanted to support our wrestlers and those who held our tricolour high, the ex-MP should have been in the crowd, standing there quietly without her desperation for publicity. And what's worse is her sidekick who came with her is holding the poster, showing a poster as if they've come out to make some big point. Who are these people? The left is irrelevant. But look, there is only one question, and I'm glad the sports minister has finally woken up from his slumber and he's reaching. If the government of Narendra Modi ji is finished fighting with Supreme Court judges, has finished fighting with all the things that it wants to do, can they come and resolve?
We will take that question across. We will take that question across. And in fact, what exactly is the government doing and why is it taking the government so long is also a very pertinent question. We will, in fact, take those questions in just a few moments. But my colleague Karishma is joining us and she's going to tell us about that all-important meeting. Before we get into the debate, Karishma, quickly tell us what's expected at 10 o'clock today.
Well, it's absolutely not. Anurag Thakur returning from Hamirpur to meet the wrestlers, and he has invited them for dinner at 10 p.m. He is going to meet them. He is going to ask them about the meeting that was held earlier with the sports ministry officials. He is going to ask what their demands are, and of course he's going to give them assurance. Because earlier in the press conference, wrestlers said that they weren't content with what was told for the ministry meeting, but Anurag Thakur give them fresh assurance and also ask them to call off their protest and not sit at Jantar Mantar, because at the end of the day, it's very shameful to see our Olympians, our Olympic medalists to be sitting on the streets and asking for justice and asking for Anurag Thakur is expected to make them understand, to call off their protest and that their demands will be met.
All right, thanks so much for that update there. All eyes on that meeting that's going to take place at 10 o'clock today as well. But let me quickly take this right back to our guests, and I want to take this across first and foremost to Vaibhav Agarwal. Vaibhav Agarwal, many questions as to what really is happening. And the questions are being asked because it's been 48 hours. Yes, the sports secretary may have met those wrestlers, but certainly their demands have not yet been resolved. They are saying that they want to see something decisive happening. They are asking, of course, for the WFI to be disbanded, but perhaps it's for the government to get in and ensure that there is justice for these wrestlers, because this is causing not just a national embarrassment, it's becoming internationally an extremely shocking story, because where do you have Olympians sitting in this manner demanding justice? Anywhere in the world.
You know, with all due respect, with all due respect, Madhav, thanks for having me on the panel. I mean, I do the formalities, but with all due respect, Madhav, I want to understand, is this discussion about the harassment, sexual harassment that we are looking at to the women players, or we are looking at the corruption or the corrupt motives of the Wrestling Federation of India? We have to clearly draw a line there. Point number one.
How does it matter, sir?
Point number two.
How does it matter? There are both allegations. Why can't both the allegations go hand in hand?
No.
It's wrongdoing of the same set of individuals. If there is wrongdoing by the same set of individuals, why not expose the rot on all ends? Why are the two at opposing ends for you?
If we are expecting me to answer a particular question, you'll have to give me an opportunity to say that without interjecting. Now, that's point number one.
No, please, but I don't know why you're saying that there can only be one and not the other. That's the only point I'm clarifying, but please have your say. Please respond.
I'm trying to understand that does sexual harassment will be finished if the WFI be disbanded?
If the same set of individuals are perpetrating the harassment, then why not?
Madhav, I'm a citizen. I need to ask questions too.
No, please ask the questions.
Why am I not being asked? Why am I being snubbed?
I'm just finding it mind-boggling today that you are sitting here on national television saying that sexual harassment will not be ended if this person is removed. Try telling that to the wrestlers.
It's mind-boggling for you what I'm saying, but it's mind-boggling for me what you're saying or what they are saying. So I have the right to present my viewpoint.
No, please. Please do so. Please do so. But sir, we have wrestlers and I'm going to ask the wrestlers to respond to you. Please present your viewpoint. 30 seconds to you. Please make your point, and I'm then going to get a response from the wrestlers who are listening to what you're saying right now.
Secondly, the Wrestling Federation of India and the bodies, other bodies, are private bodies. They are not government bodies that the government can get up and take action when there is a complaint. So you have to understand that there are laws that we have to abide. I don't know what other political people or people with other political thinking may have a thought on that, but I'm telling you what law says. The law says that they are a private body, and if the complaint has to be done, the complaint has to be done, and then there's a process according to their body's constitution. The government can interfere, will mount pressure if need be. We will finish the recognition that the Sports Authority of India grants the Wrestling Federation of India. However, beyond that, the government has no control on it. And understand one thing very clearly. Sakshi Malik is a member of the Sexual Harassment Committee of the Wrestling Federation of India. She herself is protesting. Are we saying that the entire Sexual Harassment Committee, and there are some big names on it, you should have gone through it. Are we saying that they are all complicit?
Okay.
No, we are not.
Okay, you made your point. Now you've had your say. Now there's one of our panelists at least has been very vigorously shaking his head. Advocate Pratik Som. He's a national spokesperson of the JJP. Advocate Pratik Som, on multiple points, I mean, I can go on having a discussion with Vaibhav Agarwal, but he says legally there is nothing the government can do. He is also, in a sense, questioning about whether all other systems have broken down as far as these allegations of sexual harassment are concerned. He even asks, will sexual harassment end if this person goes? Questions that I personally find extremely shocking after the pain and agony of the wrestlers that has been shared in the public domain. But aap jawab dijiye. You made your point, sir. You made your point, sir. Now let others speak. Don't do this. Let others speak. Advocate Pratik Som.
See, I would say this is a very unwarranted statement at this point of time. He must understand that out of the total medal tally which India has achieved in Commonwealth and Olympics, 61% medals have come from wrestlers. Wrestlers of international repute like Fogart, Punia and Sakshi, they are sitting at Jantar Mantar. They don't need such kind of publicity. They already have international repute. There is something which they want to show to this country, which the government and the federation should see. Other point, there is no smoke without fire. When the credible people are making some kind of allegation, a serious investigation should happen. It cannot be the case that it can be a hush-hush affair or meeting, secretaries or the ministers. I would also advise the wrestlers that they should give a complaint to the authorities so that a FIR can be registered and proper investigation can happen. See, we have to see that we are dealing with a situation situation where our women wrestlers are giving statements कि इस देश में बेटी बनके पैदा नहीं होना चाहिए. This is very unfortunate. हमारे जो खिलाड़ी हैं, हमारे wrestlers हैं, they don't look nice on Jantar Mantar. They should be on the ground. They should be on their mats performing and bringing laurels to India. Haryana is being known by their wrestlers. They are our pride, and their all kind of rights should be protected.
Why can't these individuals be arrested, Vaibhav Agarwal? The individuals, perpetrators. What is the Delhi police doing, for instance? There has been a notice that has been issued by the Delhi Commissioner of Women yesterday. It's been 24 hours. What's the legal action that has happened?
I have no authority to comment on that. You'll have to ask Delhi police or the.
You are defending. You are saying what's happening is right. You are questioning the players. You are questioning the wrestling federation. You are saying that is the allegation of sexual harassment correct or not? But yet, when it comes to justice, you do not have an opinion as to how the law and order system in this country works. It's either it's a right thing that has happened or it is wrong.
Let's make it very clear. What Pradeep says is very right. When people with high credibility talk about it, there should be sufficient action. Well, is the guy in discussion with low credibility? I mean, I am not trying to defend anyone.
Have you seen his video in Ranchi, sir?
For all sake, he should be.
Have you seen his video in Ranchi?
That doesn't mean that we have to take away anyone's rights that are being given to
absolutely
him.
Absolutely mind-boggling defenses, Vaibhav Agarwal. But I'm going to. I'm going to come to each of you. I'm going to come to each of you, gentlemen. There are also players. I'm going to go across to them. But we first want to listen into what the citizens of this country think, because I think this is a story that has completely shocked the average citizen of India. This is something that our viewers are calling in and expressing their views. Let's listen in. And Vaibhav Agarwal, please listen in very closely to what our viewers have to say. We have Ravi calling in from Hyderabad. Ramesh, I beg your pardon. Mr. Ramesh, please go ahead.
Hello. Good evening. See, with this incident, our chances of holding a Olympic will be spoiled. And moreover, with what face you decide you're going to bid for Olympics? If this is what the people think, and this is what happens, I don't think we have any chance of holding even a next Commonwealth Games also. That's what we're hoping about. I think.
Thank you for your time and your views, Mr. Ramesh. Sanjeev is our next viewer joining us. Yes, Sanjeev.
Yes, sorry, but मैं English में नहीं बोलूँगा. I will speak in Hindi.
Please go ahead, sir. बोलिए.
देश के लोगों को ये आईना दिखा रहे हैं. जो भी हमारे पैनलिस्ट बैठे हुए हैं, इनको शर्म से डूब मरना चाहिए. हमारे वुमेन्स के साथ ऐसा हरासमेंट हो रहा है. Nobody is liable. ये बीजेपी के लोग, जो कांग्रेस के लीडर्स हो, कोई भी बैठा हो, सब लोग they are involved in all these kinds of rubbish.
Absolutely. And in fact, the biggest takeaway, Mr. Sanjeev, and this is what our viewers are telling us time and again, that ultimately our netas are the ones who've been ruling over sporting bodies for the past several decades. They all have to take responsibility. It's not about any one political party. Ultimately, there is collective responsibility of the political class. BK Ojha is our next viewer calling us. Yes, BK Ojha.
Sir, can I speak in Hindi?
जी बोलिए.
सर, मुझे ये कहना है कि आप लोग सर पहले से ही मीडिया ट्रायल क्यों चालू कर देते हो? इनको उनका पक्ष रखने दीजिए ना, जो भी होगा आएगा बाहर.
जी.
पहले तो आप
उनके आवाज, सर जो विक्टिम है उसकी आवाज उठानी पड़ती है कई बार मीडिया को, नहीं तो जस्टिस इस देश में नहीं मिलता, और ये कई बार हमने देखा है. हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए धन्यवाद ओझा जी. वी हैव मिस्टर श्रीनिवासन joining us now from Hyderabad. Yes, Mr. Srinivasan.
Yeah, good evening, dear. I just going on looking for this news from yesterday onward. It's a very hurt, and this problem is actually maybe it's a national problem, but most of my relatives work in railways. Most of them are in sports field. This problem is in the Indian railways especially. There is a lot of harassment.
Absolutely.
Girls and boys, even boys also cry because there are a lot of influence they are putting up, and harassment is. Even officers, railway officers also involved in this one.
All right, thank you. Yeah, thank you for your views, Mr. Srinivasan. It is harassment that happens at a mass scale, but perhaps only few of them have the courage to actually speak out, and that's why these wrestlers must be lauded. Raghu is with us now from Bengaluru. Yes, Raghu.
My name is Raghu, and I am a national level badminton player. I happen to be a member of Karnataka Badminton Association. This is not only applicable to the wrestling federation at all. It is always applicable to all sports, There are people in these federations who have been in this power situation for the last 16 years in badminton. So So even our sport is ruined. Similarly, I think the sport of wrestling is also ruined, the sport of cricket is ruined, the sport of boxing is ruined. Every sport is ruined because there is an enormous amount of people staying back in the position for longer years. 16 years is a long time in
Absolutely. Why should anyone be there for 16 years? In every federation, there have been allegations. Very, very serious points that is being made there by Raghu. Thank you so much for joining us, Raghu. Let me now take this across to our sports persons on our panel. We have with us Hardeep Singh, former Olympic wrestler. Hardeep Singh जी, जब इस तरह की टिप्पणी आप सुनते हैं, जो कमेंटेटर्स कहते हैं कि हम मीडिया से क्यों उछाल रहे हैं, मीडिया सेंसेशनलाइज कर रहा है जो ये लड़कियां कह रही हैं, साथ में कई लोगों का कहना है कि और रिड्रेसल मैकेनिज्म्स हैं, और अगर आप क्या कहते हैं कि आप कैसे माने कि हर तरह की जो रिड्रेसल मैकेनिज्म्स है पूरी तरह फेल हो गई है? क्या कहेंगे आप इन लोगों को जो इस तरह के बयान देते हैं, इस तरह की दलील रखते हैं?
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो सभी को नमस्कार।
जी बोलिए।
और ये जो मीडिया का है ना, मीडिया का तो जो ये राजनेता है ना, इसको तो सभी बातों का पता नहीं होता। जो हमारे खिलाड़ियों के साथ बीतती है ना, खिलाड़ियों को साथ हमारे साथ जैसे व्यवहार होता है वो हमारे को भी पता होता है। जैसे लड़कियों के साथ जो व्यवहार होता है लड़कियों को पता होता है, जो लड़कों को पता होता है। तो इसलिए स्पोर्ट्समैन को ही रहने दे, ये राजनेताओं में तो मत घुसने दो। और ये जो गलत व्यवहार करते हैं इसको ज्यादा से ज्यादा सख्त सजा मिलनी चाहिए।
जी क्या कहेंगे विक्रम यादव जी, क्या आप भी सहमत हैं इनसे, हरदीप सिंह से?
इससे है ना जी,
हम सब पहलवान एक साथ हैं, हम जल के लड़ाई करेंगे, ठीक, इंसाफ मिलना चाहिए हमें।
जी, let me take this across to Rakesh Singh, who's a coach and as well as the general secretary of the Haryana Wrestling Association. राकेश सिंह जी, सारे पहलवान एक साथ हो गए हैं, वो कह रहे हैं हम एकजुट हैं, और यहाँ तक कि कई सारे पहलवान हैं जो अपनी फेथ रूलिंग पार्टी में भी रख चुके हैं, लेकिन वो भी कह रहे हैं कि वो चाहते हैं कि इंसाफ हो, कि बहुत समय से ये अन्याय चलता आ रहा है, हैरेसमेंट चलती आ रही है। राकेश सिंह जी, आपको आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
जी जी, हाँ जी, नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार राकेश सिंह जी, सारे प्लेयर्स कह रहे हैं हम एकजुट हैं, हम लड़ेंगे इंसाफ के लिए, न्याय के लिए।
ये जो अभी नहीं, अच्छी बात है, प्लेयरों को एक साथ रहना चाहिए, और पहले भी एक रहे हैं, लेकिन जो एलिगेशंस लगे हैं, जो हमारी बेटियों ने, जो भारत की शान है, उन्होंने नेताजी पे ये लगाया है ब्लेम, तो इसकी जांच तो होनी चाहिए ना। आप बगैर जांच के और उनको दोषी ठहरा दो, ये तो अच्छी बात नहीं है। आप प्लेयर इकट्ठे हैं, हम भी उन प्लेयरों के साथ ही खड़े हैं, हमारी बेटियां हैं, वो हम उनके साथ हैं, और पूरा हरियाणा नहीं, पूरा देश उनके साथ खड़ा है।
क्या उन्हें इस्तीफा नहीं देना चाहिए? अगर वो रेसलिंग फेडरेशन के चीफ बने रहेंगे तो फेयर इन्वेस्टिगेशन कैसे होगी राकेश जी?
नहीं, देखिए 22 तारीख की मीटिंग रखी है, उसमें क्या फैसला होता है, और वो इस पद पर बने नहीं रहेंगे, क्योंकि अप्रैल में तो उनका इलेक्शन ही है, उनको तो 11 साल कुछ महीने हो गए हैं, और
तो आज ही इस्तीफा दे दें,
एक पद पर रह सकते हो,
तो आज ही इस्तीफा दे दे, 22 तक रुके क्यों?
नहीं लगता कि इसके ज्यादा इंटरेस्टेड हैं।
नहीं, अगर वो इंटरेस्टेड हो या ना हो वाली बात ही नहीं है ना, अगर आपको पता है कि वो जा रहे हैं तो वो ऑलरेडी
आसान है
सर, नैतिक आधार पे इस्तीफा तो दे सकते हैं ना, कोई रोक तो नहीं रहा उन्हें। अगर इतनी बड़ी कंट्रोवर्सी हो गई, आप चाहते हैं कि फेयर इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो, तो वो स्टेप असाइड कर ले।
एक परिवार है, अभी इन पहलवानों का नेताजी को उतारने का काम नहीं है, सुनिए मेरी बात, नेताजी के लिए नहीं है ये तो कहते हैं ऑल इंडिया की फेडरेशन को खत्म किया जाए और उस पद पे हमें बिठा दिया जाए, क्योंकि हरियाणा में ड्रामा पहले हो चुका है।
एग्जैक्टली
अच्छा,
ये राजनीतिक घुसादी है इसके अंदर। ये तो दीपेंद्र हुड्डा जी जो है इस पद पे थे हमारे 12 साल से, ये उन्होंने पहलवानों का यूज करके उनको आगे कर दिया है।
अच्छा, ये राजनीतिक षड्यंत्र है हरदीप सिंह जी, क्या मानते हैं, क्या सहमत है आप इनसे हरदीप सिंह जी?
ये राजनीतिक षड्यंत्र हैं, हमारे पहलवान इस तरह के नहीं हैं।
आपने सवाल पूछा है, हरदीप सिंह को जवाब देने दीजिए। हरदीप सिंह जी जवाब दीजिए,
कितना नाम रोशन किया है,
जवाब दीजिए।
ये जो हरियाणा ये हरियाणा के जो अध्यक्ष बने हुए हैं, जो अभी बने हैं, इनका मैं बहुत सम्मान करता हूं। ये इनसे बोलो भाई आप एक साइड रहें, या तो पहलवानों के साथ लग लो या नेताजियों के साथ रहें। ये दोनों साइड की बातें करते हैं, अभी भी आपने देखा होगा ये दोनों साइड की बातें कर रहे हैं।
तो आप मानते हैं कि जो आरोप लगा रहे हैं कि ये राजनीति से प्रेरित है, क्या कहेंगे आप?
तो अभी नहीं जी, बिल्कुल नहीं। दीपेंद्र जी यहाँ तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं। अभी तो जो पहलवान के साथ हुआ है, इतने बड़े बड़े पहलवान हमारी साथी हैं, जो महिलाएं साथी हैं, और उनने अपने बोला भाई हम सबूत के साथ पेश करेंगे,
सबूत के साथ पेश करेंगे। दैट्स अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट। सबूत भी सामने आएगा राकेश सिंह जी, कोर्ट केस भी होगा, ऑफिशियल कंप्लेंट भी फाइल होगी।
तो भंग किया जाए, ये कौन सा तरीका है?
नहीं तो पुलिस कंप्लेंट होगी, पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन होगी।
ये आज से 10 साल 12 साल हो जाएंगे, अभी 12 साल हो जाएंगे 4 महीने में।
अगर अन्याय और अत्याचार हो रहे हैं सर, बिल्कुल बंद करना चाहिए। इनका नैतिक आधार है, वो बिल्कुल मांग सकते हैं।